It is Thursday, so you already know weekend warm-up is coming for the Formula One Grand Prix in Monaco, one of the most nostalgic, historic races on the calendar. And, of course, now at this point in time, one of the least exciting racing events on the calendar. Qualifying is the best. The day of the race is a snooze fest. And, of course, a lot of people hope it rains, so we just get a little bit of something to clamor about. R33Z33 is first in the live chat. What's going on, man? If you're not first, you're last. We'll see who's second and third. So we have two big powerhouses of revenue and entertainment joining and uniting together. Mary Beanie second in the live chat. So she is second on the podium step. We'll see who's third, and we'll get our complete live chat podium in there. And I got to wonder first, when I saw this, Dave's Quattro is third in the live chat, and there's your podium for the live chat. It is R33Z33, Mary Beanie, and Dave's Quattro make your podium live chat. Big shout out to you all. I got to wonder first, when I saw this, it kind of made me think, it made me think about what happened to the F1 kids. Do y'all remember that? Last season, it was introduced. We had F1 kids. We had Zach was on them. We had a few different kids that basically were going to some of the Grand Prix. Galactus was going on. I'm moderating in the live chat. We had kids that were going to be at Grand Prix. They were at Grand Prix. They were at events. They were doing interviews. Lewis Hamilton did some with one of them. We had Nico. We had a few different interviews. As a matter of fact, Nico, I believe he got mad because one of the little kids, basically, he felt like she was disrespecting. But kids are honest. Kids can be brutally to the point. And I think if I can remember kind of correctly, I don't think she appreciated his soft answer, and she kind of went about, I don't know, I think if she was kind of like feeling like he was trash. But anyways, as it goes, I haven't seen the F1 kids. So I have to wonder what has happened to the F1 kids. And now all of a sudden we have the Disney Formula One collaboration. So was F1 Kids a soft touch for Formula One to do a little bit of demographic work, collect some data, try to find out, is there a space for this? Is this something that will be received well? Is this something that will come off well? Is this something that will gain us the eyeballs from a younger viewership that we're looking for? And maybe that was a soft touch. Maybe that was something they initiated that didn't really cost them much. It didn't cost them a partnership, didn't cost any contractual agreements to the point where you're dealing with another big entity. And if things don't go right, now there's a big breakup and a divorce and a lot of money and a lot of legality situations to kind of decipher and work through. And now here we are with Disney and Formula One uniting. Now, nobody at this point in time outside of these two powerhouse conference rooms understands the full partnership layout. What is Formula One completely going to be doing for Disney, and what is Disney going to be completely doing for Formula One? So right now it is speculation on my behalf and a lot of people's behalf. Just off from a surface view, I have to wonder, is this just two big entities having a joint money grab? Like, hey, we've got this many viewers, you got this many viewers, we have this many revenue dollars from merchandise, you got this many revenue dollars from merchandise. Let's collab, and then let's kind of see if we can expand our revenue from merchandise. That's one of my things that I'm thinking about. Okay, so now Disney will be able to officially partner and have licensing to Formula One, and Formula One will be able to officially and partner and have licensing to Disney merch, and they will be able to collab in different shops. Okay, now when you go to the Formula One shop, now your kids will be able to go into the Formula One shops that are at the race and see kid identifiable products that are Formula One bridged, and now we'll have more ability for them to make purchases for their kids versus kids going in like, okay, it's just, I don't really see anything I like. And I like the team because you like the team, and I'll get a hat because you got a hat. But now when kids go into the fan shop, they will see characters that they identify with, and they'll want that merchandise because they like those characters. And now that they like those characters, maybe certain characters will be attached to certain teams. And here it is now, we're starting to groom and crop a young fan base to then take over the older fan base that it will eventually phase out of Formula One. Now we're gaining that. That's where I was started to go on that level. But there's something else I started to think about. And I started to think about this because I said, you know what? To a degree, maybe it's more than just revenue and merch. And even though when I say this, it kind of circles back to revenue and merch, but from a different standpoint. We're going to be working from a different branch of the revenue and merch tree, right? We're going to work from a different branch. And I said, you know, maybe this is Formula One also preparing themselves for something that they had an opportunity to see what would happen if said driver was to leave Formula One. They had an idea of that because why? Mercedes experienced it. Lewis Hamilton. Is this potentially setting up revenue to kind of be subsidized on the exit of Lewis Hamilton, the exit of Max Verstappen, because he's already talked about leaving the sport sooner than most people probably would think he would, but he's nowhere near the magnitude and marketability of Lewis Hamilton. But is this something like, yo, we got to find out. We just recently saw the numbers of Mercedes merch dropping off the face of the earth and Ferrari's merch skyrocketing just due to the move of one driver in Lewis Hamilton. What the hell is going to happen to the sport of Formula One in regards to revenue and merchandise when he leaves? We have to find a way to offset this. We got to find a way to get in here and see if there's a way to start grooming, cropping, and bringing in new viewership, bringing in new fans, new spectators that will then attach themselves to drivers that are currently on the grid. Lewis Hamilton, although many kids, many people, many of us like him, many of us will purchase his merch. When he's gone, others will not see that. They will not know that like they know LeBron James and not Michael Jordan. They know Michael Jordan now because they reintroduced Michael Jordan with The Last Dance, and Michael Jordan has the shoes. Not quite the same with a Formula One driver. Although Lewis Hamilton doesn't need Formula One, he's going to exist and be profitable way outside Formula One. Formula One needs Lewis Hamilton. Formula One needs drivers like Lewis Hamilton. Formula One, in the light, when Lewis Hamilton leaves, we'll need to see what Max Verstappen is going to do. 083 in the live chat says Disney F1 can be problematic. I do agree, and I was going to get to that. Don't think that Disney is going to try and control F1. Don't think that it's going to work. Interests are incompatible in my view. And that is something else, 083, that I'm getting with after this notion of mine. I do agree. Completely agree. And so within context, I agree with it. It's incompatible, but I also agree that for Formula One, I can see where their lane is in that. So yeah, when Lewis Hamilton leaves, there's definitely going to be a void. There's going to be, and no matter how momentarily this may be, you got to understand a company's main focus is profits. Their main focus is making money. All right. And if they're not, and they don't make money if they don't have drivers that are not marketable. So if any idiot thinks that Formula One doesn't need Lewis Hamilton, you're a damn idiot. You're an idiot. Because guess what? That's like saying the NBA doesn't need Luka, doesn't need LeBron, doesn't need KD, doesn't need Steph Curry. They need players. If your players aren't great, if your players aren't marketable, where are your fans coming from? You need key iconic players. So you're an idiot if you think Formula One doesn't need Lewis Hamilton. Formula One doesn't need Max Verstappen. Formula One doesn't need Oscar Piastri. Formula One needs drivers that are marketable and that will sell and that are like so they can continue to make money. Because guess what? If you don't have interesting drivers, if you don't have drivers that can perform on track and do interesting things, nobody's watching your sport. Nobody's watching it. Nobody gives a damn. If you don't have players like Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Allen, nobody's watching your damn sport. Nobody's turning on the TV to see these players because they're not there. So anybody that says this, you're an idiot. And you just proved you're an idiot because this is what you need. These are products. Products have to be sold. Jerseys are sold. Driver shirts are sold. Hats are sold. Car memorabilia is sold based on these drivers. So, yeah, when Lewis Hamilton leaves, there's going to be a void. When Max Verstappen leaves, there's going to be a void. When Oscar Piastri gains a championship, if he gains a championship and becomes another iconic driver and he leaves, there's going to be a void. And Formula One, just like football, just like the NFL, just like the NBA, just like the MLB, have to find a way to make players marketable so people buy tickets. It's just dumb. They're dumb. People are dumb. People are dumb. Like, think about it. KD still sells shoes. It's crazy. You're going to have dumb people say dumb things because they don't understand that part. And then you'll have people say dumb things because they just truly want to hate. That's what they want to do. So, and if you look, and then think about it. This is pure numbers work, right? Look at Lewis Hamilton's fan base. His fan base alone dwarfs Max Verstappen. Galactus in the super chat says Disney could bring F1 to their streaming services. Exactly. Galactus, you and 083 are getting to major points that we can get to. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? So, and you know, this is what's even funny. Even for somebody like Lewis Hamilton, people say, and it's not Lewis Hamilton that's not competitive, idiot. It's the cars he's been in that haven't been great. And the drivers that haven't been in those cars aren't competitive either. So then we have to do this. He's still the best-selling driver and marketable driver on the grid. Think about that. The dude who's been in a boat slow car for 3 seasons come into Ferrari is still the most marketable and profitable driver when it comes to merchandise in Formula One. You can't, people, it's just... When you start bringing up facts and stacks, people just look crazy, right? People look crazy. When you start bringing up facts and stacks, people look crazy. So when you do these things, people have to think about all of this, and that will happen. So now we got to talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about, is Disney right for Formula One? I don't really think Disney technically is wrong for Formula One. I think that Disney has something that Formula One could use. I don't necessarily think that Formula One is wrong for Disney. I think Formula One possibly could be a segue for Disney when it comes to streaming. Like Galactus said in the super chat, Galactus mentioned streaming, and that's what it could be, right? Because you have the NFL, and think about this, the NFL even did this. The NFL did this before Disney did this. And this is where it goes, where I think the Formula One needs to discuss and have a conversation with the NFL. How do you initiate your cost cap in such a way that it doesn't hinder teams and it doesn't give other teams overbearing power? Because they know. So I don't know if any of you watch football. I don't know if any of you watch NFL. I don't know if any of you watch it, but NFL did a partnership with Nickelodeon. And you can watch, I think it's on Prime, but you can watch NFL, and there it goes with Galactus with streaming services. You can watch NFL games with Nickelodeon inserts, and they'll have like sliming. They'll have like literally on the gameplay, there will be some of the Nickelodeon characters in the game. You're going to see the field's going to be different. And this makes watching the football games more palatable to kids. Kids will watch it now because kids that watch Nickelodeon get to see Nickelodeon attributes being implemented into the game, and it makes it more interesting for a younger fan base. This younger fan base will eventually hit teenage days. Maybe they start playing football. Maybe they want to become sports commentators. Maybe they want to do something within the NFL ranks. So it's a way of grooming and bringing up, and it actually does work. And even if so, we already know biggest football game, which is the cheesiest football game, because NFL 2K was the best football game until Madden and EA Sports conspired to get the rights to the NFL and phase out the game, because they knew if NFL 2K5 came out with 2K6 and 2K7, Madden would cease to exist. Because the game was so far more advanced than Madden. It was so much better than Madden. It allowed you to have so much more of a personal touch than Madden. They knew if we let this game come out with another year, and they dropped the price to $19, Madden knew it was over. EA Sports knew it was going to be night-night. So what did they do? They pulled a power move, got the NFL to agree to a contract for the rights so nobody could use the teams or the logos. That saved Madden. So even with that being the case, you can watch the Madden cast to NFL where you can see the routes. So there are all types of ways this could happen. So is this something that Formula One is going to do? Are Formula One going to have another broadcast on streaming for Disney where Formula One will be streamed and you'll see Disney characters popping up randomly inside of the racing event? That's something that possibly could happen. Galactus in the Superhead chat says, I would like a model of that Disney. I would too. The Mickey car is fire. I would actually like a die-cast model of that, for real. I think that'd be fire. Incredible Facts Quest says, but couldn't they use the deal with Disney to also enforce tamping down the language? Yo, that is something I did not consider. Incredible Facts Quest. I didn't consider that. I did not consider that. And you know what? That's a very good point. That is a very good perspective. Could Disney be a way to say, hey, listen, this is why you can't talk this way during broadcast, and this is why you could be potentially penalized because you're impacting our revenue and you're impacting our partnership. We're partnered with Disney, a known global children brand, and you're going to need to do better. You're going to need to do better with your verbiage in post conferences or any of this. And also there could be some meeting because I'm not fully on board with drivers not being able to express themselves in the car during the heat of battle. But I am on board with drivers being able to control their language post-conference, control your language during the interviews, control your language during the press conferences. But in the car, I think we got to leave some room for that. I think we got to leave some room for drivers to express themselves while they're in the heat of the battle. We're not doing this to NFL players. I mean, the NFL players say a lot of things on the field. Basketball players say a lot of things on the court. Soccer players say a lot of things in the field. I think there needs to be some acceptance that, hey, come on. They're driving 1,000 horsepower plus cars. They're going around each other. They're in hot, horrible situations sometimes. And they're dealing with one of the most dangerous sports right now in the world. We can't give these drivers a little grace to say the F-bomb or shit or damn or ask what the hell. Now, I will limit that at racial tones, racial derogatory statements, and or any type of sexist language that would be used. And Max Verstappen's done that plenty. That's a limit. Like we're not tolerating that, period. In the heat of the battle, you drop the F-bomb, you say that shit, you say damn, you say hell, you say what the F. We'll do that. But once you start using derogatory terminology and racial slurs towards other drivers and or members of Formula One or spectators abroad, there's a zero tolerance policy for that. But them being able to cuss every now and then, I'm kind of, come on, man, I think that's okay. Now, also, some people might see this as the beginning of the end of Formula One, because there is said thing that there's nothing more dangerous than an animal that's being pinned in a corner, a desperate animal pinned in a corner, because they're going to do whatever they can do to get out. Same thing with people. People sometimes have more of a fight or flight, right? You're going to curl up or you're going to lash out. But either way it goes, is this a desperate attempt for Formula One? And some people I've seen a lot of people not happy about this partnership at all. Disney F1 cars, Mickey, Goofy, etc. Right. And that's another thing. Think about a collection of Disney character inspired Formula One cars. That's going to sell. I'd even buy one. Honestly, I'd probably end up buying, if it's a Disney character. Yeah, I'm probably on board with, I don't know. I'm not buying the Mickey Mouse one, even though I buy this one because it's starting out. But, I got to be on board with something else. Definitely. I like Donald Duck, Pluto. Who else? There's a few. Who? What other character would I buy? Because I don't watch a lot of Disney now. Come on, but definitely got to watch. Pocahontas. If they do one, I'd buy one of those for my daughter. Buzz Lightyear for sure. I'm definitely doing a Buzz Lightyear for sure. Buying a Buzz Lightyear, and Russell would probably buy a Woody car. He probably would buy Woody. So at Winnie the Pooh, definitely buying Winnie the Pooh for sure. Definitely. Tiana, I'm definitely buying my daughter a Tiana car for sure. So and then you got to remember, Disney cars, the movie, if they make a Lightning McQueen car, F1 car, I'm buying that. For myself, I'm buying that. So, you never know. You never know. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm not all out on it until we see where it's going to go, what the partnership, what's the extent, what's the details of the agreement. Deadpool, Wolverine, the MCU, Galactus, bro. Fire right there. Fire. I'm just saying, fire. I do. 083 says, I'm not interested in buying Disney F1 cars. That doesn't work for me at all. That turns me off. I can understand that. But what I'm talking to, 083, is the market. The market would allow that. Now you got to think about this. The market would be great. Kid remote control cars and Disney characters, Christmas, birthdays, Target, Walmart, forget Target, Walmart, Target, it's still Target, Walmart, all of these chain stores would allow Formula One to get in a way with a major brand that already has established roots in big chain markets. And as I know, it's not the biggest thing for us, and I completely understand where you're coming from. From a business standpoint, it's something. It's something. And I'm not even saying it's going to do something great for the sport, but if it's another way to bring in money and younger viewers to then turn into older spectators that watch Formula One to then turn around and bring their kids into Formula One, you're creating a ripple effect of spectators that you can have for generations. That's what this might really be about. And if that is it, it's not a bad move for them as a business, and I'm seeing it. Not that I agree with the move, not that I care for the move. I'm just objectively looking at reasons why, and if those reasons are valid, it just makes sense in those ways. And if depending on the price of the car, if I was out, yeah, I'd do that. I get my nephew in the cars right now. He's in the McLarens. He's in the all types of. I had him do his first model car. So you just got to think where Avenue 03. I've heard the pitch before, and it has not worked. And hey, I'm not saying it will. You may be very right. Actually, I'm not saying I disagree with you that it might not work. I kind of feel like this might be a fly-by-night agreement. I almost feel as if this might be an agreement that might not materialize in front of us to the magnitude that I've even mentioned, honestly. That kind of is how I feel. Kind of like Red Bull powertrains. Red Bull powertrains, great. Then where is it? Then is there really a Red Bull powertrains? Then will they ever come out with a power unit? I'm with you on that. Galactus says Disney F1 Funko Pops cars would be a sellout. And I can't stand Funko Pops, man. I see Funko Pops, I'm like, damn, Funko Pops are everywhere. But Galactus makes a point. That's going to sell out too. Somebody's going to buy it. People buy Funko Pops. There are people that have large collections of Funko Pops. Galactus, another good marketing point. For real. And then you can't front. The biggest point Galactus brought up was the streaming service. To be able, and we don't know, like I said, we don't know the inner workings of this deal, but if it is in there where Disney has the right to stream this Miami Formula One race will be solely streamed on the F1 app and on Disney. Come on, y'all. Like, that's it. Disney could probably work it in there where we have sole rights. When you come to the Miami USGP, the race will be only streamed on Disney and the Formula One app. Somebody's buying Disney, and if you do get Disney just to watch the race, you don't know if you're going to cancel it because then your kids might see something they want to keep, and the next thing you know, you're a Disney subscriber for a year at least. Paul says, happy Thursday, fam. Smash the like button. Peace and love to the fam. Hope everyone has a great week and weekend. Big shout out to you. Let's see. 083. Go to the Disney store and see how expensive. Yeah, facts. That, man, I'm not debating with you on that. Major expensive. I mean, but the F1 fan shop is major expensive too, bro. I've been there too. But yeah, it is major expensive. You're right. You're gonna spend. You buy 2 items in there, you're at $100 easy. Depending on what you buy, for sure, $100 easy. ESPN is dropping F1, I think, owned by Disney. And so, see, I love. See, this is what I love about talking these things out, just kind of freestyle with you all. You all come up with some very good points. You all come up with some very good perspectives. You all come up with some things I don't think about, and then we talk about pretty much that. I mean, that is what this is about. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I really need to see but I do like that Disney Mickey Mouse car. That could have been something Ferrari did, honestly. Ferrari has to do something, and it got to come out with a yellow Ferrari. That's another thing this made me think about Ferrari. You got to come out with a yellow Ferrari. For real. It's needed. It's about time. The blue or the yellow. It's needed. It really is needed. And so we'll see. I'm not totally out on it. I'm not really the most hyped about it. I just can understand business-wise where they could go and things that could make money and could make sense. And it just is what it is when it comes to companies like this. So let me know what you think below in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. I do feel that Formula One is trying to prepare on exit of some of their biggest stars, and their biggest star in Lewis Hamilton as far as merchandise and revenue and streaming and marketability. You don't send many other drivers into any area that will have the biggest impact other than Lewis Hamilton. You're going to need a fresh new crop of spectators that will gravitate and attach themselves to drivers, especially with the rookie class that we have coming up. I told you the changing of the guard was coming, and it is here. And who's going to like Oscar? Who's going to like Bortoleto? Who's going to like Hajar? Who's going to like Liam Lawson if he's even still around? We got to have a new crop of people and viewers and spectators that are going to come in as other spectators and viewers phase out, because it's just a real thing. It's just the nature and hardcore aspect of business. So smash the like button, leave your comments down below. We are going into the Monaco GP. We will be in free practice. FP1, no, is Monaco? Yeah, we'll be in free practice. We're going to be into the race soon. We're going to have new conferences. We're going to have driver press conferences. There's going to be a lot of things coming into this weekend, and we will be live multiple times during this weekend. So subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications on the lives when I do post them, and I will see you all soon, more than likely on a video very shortly. Peace and love. We're out.